Hey guys, it's Stark coming after with another game of Total Warhammer 3. Now things look hopeless here at the Schwarzwolf Den. Here with Malakai McKyson's faction, we're playing the Old World campaign, about turn 90 or so. Things look hopeless here, but are they? Are they? What if we could hide within the trees? You know, what if we could set up in a stealthy and safe place? For we do have, overhead, the Spirit of Gringi. Now we're gonna want, like, not all of our eggs in the basket, right? So if we put some, like, over here, will they find them? I mean, maybe. They won't know where we are, but, you know, they'll have an idea. They're going to search a bit. Once they find us, though, you know, this might not work, but because we need the Grungi to come out, which will take a minute. But at least, okay, so they're going to search with some stuff. What we can do now, though, is pepper in here. And right, we're doing the thing we want to do, which is just hit these Marauder Hunters. And then we're going to go over the top and hit them there. And now it's time for the Grungi. Alright, now it's time for ship macro. Now we have to turn, and then we're going to shoot at him. You know, we're hitting all these things with the support of the Grungi overhead. But we're taking so much damage here, right? But if we can get bombs dropping, because we were sitting still for a long time there setting up that shot. But yeah, there we go. We'll speed it up a bit, you know, there's nothing too fancy here. And now we'll say, they have wronged us! Because the Grungi can do a ton of work here, but we are getting shot. We need... Yeah, we got these guys, they need to come out to hit their missile troops so that the Grungi can win here. Because it won't run, like, quite yet, but we just need to beat these guys that we're on top of here. I think bringing our guys out of the trees was the right move. Alright, so we deal with them there. And the thing is, too, is they don't really know what is going on there very well. So the Grungi doing wonderfully here. We're just going to push forward into this blob, I guess, because these warriors are already here, right? Into bearmen. Not amazing, but hey, what are you going to do, right? You know, maybe we should have left all of our guys in the trees. We'll see, though, because right now we're gonna spike him. This will probably, yeah, take him out, and then we'll go over the top here. It's just a matter of if we'll be able to defend it, and I think we will. I think this bombing run is going to be so devastating. Yes, you know, I don't know if we're going to be able to hold past this, but I am very proud of the Dawi here, as indeed I'm sure you all are. You know, I'm always giving up when the auto says we'll lose, but there I saw, you know, hey, that says I have access to a Spirit of Grungi. And I did. A heroic victory. Because Malakai's on the other side of the mountains, but you know, the blimp was up there. And as was the gyrocopter overfly. And yeah, wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. I think they have another army to back this one up, but still, it's about sending a message. And if we got the pop on Hjalmar there, then, you know, getting a level 10 guy, yeah, he's been disbanded. He might be immortal due to campaign effects or something, but... Ooh, well, this one will be worse, and yet we must try. Because, I mean, we'll still get something done, right? Now, what did we learn from the last one? That the Grungi will get very, very beat up eventually. Now, if we put all of our guys into different places... Because this is so many more problems than the last one, right? Because I don't even think that the computer has memory, right? Like, once we get out, I don't think they remember where we were. But it's trouble already. We're just going to get damage over here on these great weapons. Why not, right? All their ranged is over on this side. Which means we are going to be able to at least get something very decent out of the Spirit of Grungi over here before they react. And this is where, if we had our abilities already, you know, the world would be a different place. You know, the Grungi's strong there, but they're going to be able to get in and get a bunch of shots on us. We're going to be trying to fly away. It's probably not going to work too well. Now, these Marauder Spearmen, of course, are fighting warriors backed with Quarrelers, but they're about to get flanked there, so that'll be bad. But if we just stay in motion, right? And by that I mean run back away. We don't need to show them where we are, guys. Because the Grungi is staying relatively undamaged from that bombing run, and we popped the whole thing. We just got to stay in front of the Marauder Hunters there, right? But here, this side gets flanked. What are you going to do, right? We can go over the top of them here now that they are lined up. And if we hit this, you know, they're not large, but it'll still do a bunch of splash, right? Yeah. Beautiful. Grungi comes in over the top there. We blasting charge in the forest. And, you know, it works some. Those one unit of Berserkers, though, will be able to do a whole bunch of pain. However, this is still fine. You know, the Grungi getting it done. Getting the work in. Of course, once we get its missile resist even higher, then it can do stuff like this where it assists in the defenses pretty well. But this is, I mean, normally I would just auto off a thing like this, but seeing the Grungi here, of course, and having access to the Grungi here, is the ability to do just so much more than you could normally do against foes like this. And, of course, with our Quarreler support, we're able to even get rid of them there. They've got Executor on the Grungi. That is unfortunate, but we're just going to go for a pop here. It'll fly away. You know, before too long, what are you going to do? It doesn't die, it just goes home. These dwarves will not be forgotten. They fought very valiantly indeed. And, you know, honestly, that, you know, we will have gotten rid of some of these units and the rest of them will be pretty beat up. Norska doesn't have amazing regeneration. So, you know, certainly it's better than giving them the auto where we would have done nothing. And we shall run from the battlefield, alas. A valiant defeat, indeed. I mean, that's not nothing, you know. It's not too much, but it is not nothing. Because the Spirit of Grungi gets 30% missile resist from missions. If you get it. I don't think I have it yet. But we had a bug the other day when we were playing, but we sorted it out by going back in time. We tried to recreate the state we were in, but ended up in a slightly better one. What are you gonna do, right? Sacks the settlement, and we get 2 Blessings of the Lady there. For Jarthra and Skog. Alright, so we just need to go in here and punch them back for a second because they're all here. Oh, he ran. Of course he ran. It'll be alright. I mean, worst comes to worst, it's Valkia plus Tammy. Pretty rough. But that'll be fascinating, right? That'll be an interesting one. I don't think Dechala will get there too.
What do you want? Honor or love, 'tis always.
Come in here and pop the Scaven. This old roundabout. And now, oh wow, look how big the sphere of influence is of the Grungi now. So we're, yeah, that ability, very good indeed. Of course, and we're seeing that it even does extend to garrisons, which allows you a significant punch with that big circle. I can't believe we underestimated that, but yeah. So from a position here, all of these, if you just don't do the auto, you know, are going to be able to beat up on them pretty good. Like, those Norskins might just be straight going home now. They had a bad time.
Stupidity is contagious.
And Okri burn bright, burns bright indeed. And that gets rid of his cooldowns when he's hanging out. Oh yeah, and Oathgold. You know, you gotta lean into your things, even though we don't even have red line.
Yes.
Yeah, tradition and innovation first, because ammo problems do exist theoretically. They do go away. They do certainly go away with time.
Ready to do the guild's bidding. Dragon Slayer. Yes, laddie.
Of course, the various crew getting stronger and stronger. Here, we're gonna make this like a real army, right? This army's gonna actually be ready for going out into the wastes, and accordingly, that calls for 2 giant slayers. And one hammerer? No, we'll get a grudge hammerer. We don't have access to a grudge hammerer. We'll get the Peak Gate Guard. Yeah. We'll grab them before we go for the, well, you know, but they're the Gate Guard. Do they really belong on a mission like this? We'll get the Brotherhood of Grimnir and send them along. That'll be the ROR spice. Alright, so we'll just get a regular hammerer. And a gyro bomber. Yeah. And then we'll have room for a little bit of artillery. And Morgus Grimson's army will be ready to rock.
Yes, yes.
Now he is on the way to Uzkalak. He can't do much there.
Demon Slayer.
Um,
All that rock above. Feels grand.
but we are about to deal with them. We'll come in here. He'll move up there. He'll probably have to attack Uzkalak. Because of... we'll hope that he attacks Uzkalak. So he'll move up like here. But he might move to there. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. We will eliminate him. We've got Ungrim all the way up here to the fort, which is excellent, right? It's just what we need. Because he is getting absolutely kicked on this front from the Warhost of Zar, who is ascendant. But what we've got to do is do something about it. And the way to do that first is to pacify these lands here and then send out a force to the hinterlands, and then we can turn our gaze in the other direction. At least that is the idea. At least that is part of the plan. Now, we've got Grungi recruitment here. We need a proper cannon in this army, right? Brimstone guns don't get it done. Because we've already got a fiery thing to protect there. The addition of a cannon is good. Boom. And then I would love to get a Quarreler. Do we drop like a Slayer to get a Quarreler? You know, the humble Quarreler. Maybe it's time. Like a nice Thunderer. No, I think a Quarreler though. Like to be able to deal with Furies and stuff. I mean, if we had Rangers, that would be even better. But we don't have the buildings for them. I mean, we could. Or like a Trollhammer Torpedo. That doesn't really deal with Furies. But it is cool. We can't drop a Slayer, though. That's gross. You know, they've got to die in battle. We'll put a pin in that and try to get some of them. This cannon will be what we need for the setup there. And eventually we'll be wanting... I'm like, what do we get rid of here? The Feast Hall eventually? Yeah, probably. Dark Citadel, worth so much, and in a couple of turns we're going to be clearing out all those deeps tunnels, which is going to let us get a bunch of other nice stuff, of course. The Call the Miners ability, can't beat it, you know. And we're generating a lot of Oathgold. We're going to be able to be getting all of our dreams as far as items go before too long. Speaking of, let's just go ahead. And gain the Runes of Fear.
Bane of demons.
We're going to inscribe them upon... I'm like, well, they'll already get it. We'll inscribe them upon the master engineers there. And of course, upon Okri himself. Alright, we got another 300 to spend on something cool. A little bit of dazed, seems good. I'm like, oh yeah, all of them will have stuff. But not him. And that'll give him a daze, and then we'll give one to Hargrim Ironforge as well. And this guy is just a placeholder lord. We're actually giving it to the... Oh, but I mean, why? You know, we don't have to.
Can I help you? Prince among slayers. Dragon Slayer.
We'll give one to this guy who's about to go out and fight the foes as well. You know, gotta spend the Oathgold. We're generating a lot of it, which is great. We have so many amazing items and things to do. So this army is just so good now. You know, not perfect, but very good. It's punchy in its own special way. I don't know how we're going to match up against Chaos Dwarves. We are just going to have to see. Here we have... Alright, so rot flies, that is going to be a little different, but still, we'll just fast forward it. I'm sure we can get something done with the Grungi, and that's better than nothing. Not a lot of cover here, but we find all of it. Alright, so if we put like one guy in the back here, oh, we can't do it here. I'm like, if we could put one guy over there. And then they would need to go and find him, maybe. Poor miner. And here we're going to want to get the gyros with the Grungi because, you know, you only have one chance to make a difference, right? Where do we go here? Over the forest, I suppose. Yeah, because, you know, we got missile resist some, but it's just 15 right now on the Grungi. There's a lot to be done in the future for it. But hey, you know, we get something out of it all. And now they're shooting us with their missiles, but hey, it's about sending a message. That message is that the Grungi is now done. And they can't withdraw, sadly. But we're not going to make them fall down. We will concede defeat. Hey, it we did some damage. Obviously, the Grungi defense is less good when they've got an air force or missiles to fight back against it, and there, you know, a bunch of armor-piercing missiles in the air, a very good way to deal with it, because of course the Grungi doesn't, you know, counter that stuff super well. But that is okay. After all, it is barely injured, it's fine, it's back in fighting condition. Fartagoth the Pestilent. Wonder where he's from. All of my family is from Fartagoth. My father and my father's father and my father's Nurgling, we're all from Fartagoth. Don't appreciate you laughing. But we may have just gotten the tempo how we needed it to sort of survive here. Maybe not. If Ungrim does fall, then we'll be able to confed him, and then we'll have another ultra mega powerful lord with which to fight the foe. I'm like, do we spin off Max with that army then? Because we only have access to 2 wizards. And as cool as it is to have them both in the same army, it would abstractly be considerably better to split them up. But we need somebody where it would make sense for them to take a human wizard along, and none of our lords are that except Malakai. But Ungrim could make sense. Ungrim, for all that he has a mohawk, is like, you know, a thinking manslayer. And would have known very well what we have done in the service of good. Alright, so they do have Blade of Corn potential ability. That will be potentially very bad if we get hit by it. Alright, so time for the fight. Tamarkon reinforcements. But Valkia is the only thing in the air for her. He doesn't have much of an air force, so of course we've got the tools of our trade. Let's see how it works out. The charge bonus thing has gone back down to normal, so it's gonna be a fair fight. I mean, fair for me. Bum bum bum. Because Valkia, depending on where she's at, we're going to be able to hit her with some cannons. And depending on where she's at, that is going to be all that ever happened to her. Tammy comes from the other side of the map. This is excellent. He's going to have to walk through our fire. Valkia doesn't have anything to crack our line. So we're going to assume, right, that she's like all the way forward. So we're going to want to be rather forward as well so that we get plenty of shots as she comes through the air with the greatest of ease. Nice shot there. We'll have Malakai to buff everybody with the ability. Ulrika very far forward. Gotrek and Felix respectably in the front. Because we just need to make her so alarmed that she comes for us. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. We bring her right into the kill box of the cannons. Yeah, shoot the Wazaks. And, you know, we've got her on blinded right now for a little while longer from the ability of Ulrika. Beautiful stuff. We're just going to go ahead and hit this summon here to try to distract her onto them. We just need to, if we can pop her right now, right before Tammy shows up, and it looks like we can. She is running away. She does not have her demonic trait, but obviously if we can pop her before Tammy shows up, it's going to be a very, very bad time for their forces, and it looks like we're going to get her. It certainly does. You're obstructed by the Grungi. Let's get a little bit back there. Some of our stuff definitely got hit by cannons. That is all right. We'll live at least a while. The thing about Tamarkon, though, right? We're gonna start putting the work in on him. Boom! What a hit! What a hit! Of course, he's got like a billion itch points, but they don't have anything that can really deal with these forces, not with the artillery to back them, right? So they're going to have to come in, and when they do... Oh, when they do... Because Tamarkon is still under the delusion that he's going to have a good time here. That's not going to be what happens. He's going to have a bad time, actually. She's got infinite ammo. It just takes a little while to get infinite. But they don't have anything that can catch her here, so she doesn't have to worry. Our Air Force is fine. The gyros have 125 speed, so they are very fine. And we're going to get some more damage in on Tammy here. Beautiful stuff. Now, we just need to not be close to him whenever he goes down. That's the important thing. Might go the old Mortis engine there. Well, let's go ahead and get Ulrika out of there. And the Grungi can get the killing blow here, or thereabouts. Oh, when it turns here, oh, it's gonna be good. Oh, yeah, that's the good stuff there. Look at him. Look at him die. The champion of the Plague God. Ha. Pathetic. But of course, the fight ain't over. Not by a long shot. These Slayers are just patiently taking a lot of damage there. That's okay. Good for them. Do we give him a heal? I mean... Yeah. Yeah, we do. Go get them, guys. Trolls there. Alright, we got skin wolves here. We need to get some slayers on them. Skin wolves here. Get some slayers on them. They do not get inside. Hammers onto the pox riders. Her Jaegar to the center. Ulrika charging here on this beast so that the artillery stays online. Alright, we're going to get these guys on the spawn because we know they're unbreakable. We got to get damage. And it looks like Valkia is content. Valkia's army, after losing their leader, is content to let Tamarkon take all of the damage. Talk about petty spite. But Ulrika's going to be able to get in here to stop this charge. And the cannons, you know, at least were dug in. I wish, well, I mean, they don't get dig in, do they? No. And normally I'm like only heal a single entity guy, but you know, these Grudge Settler Hammerers, they're gonna get a lot of HP from this. You know, they're gonna go to 88% HP, and that'll be good. Taking fire from whom? Probably my own guys. That's all right. It happens. And of course, they are going to get defeated in detail here as they... Oh, is the Soul Grinder of Nurgle. That makes sense. You know, he shot up his entire load at all of us. And what did it get him? You know, not too much. He's probably mostly shooting at the Air Force, which, as we know as players, is a total insanity. That won't ever work, right? And just in time for Tamarkon to get army lost, Valkia decides that, you know, her army decides that they should show up. Love it. Oh, you know who needs a heal? These Doomseekers who still have all of their models. Oh, right, because they don't... If they can't die until they... No, they don't all have that. But they just managed to live for a super long time. All right, yeah, we were paused. Because, you know, bringing Doomseeker HP back with regrowth, now we're talking, like, that's the good stuff. Now we don't want to get too far afield here. We've got our crew in the best shape ever. This organ gun is the replacement for my old organ gun, my beloved organ gun. But, you know, what it does have now, 7 chevrons. So, you know, it's almost as good as the old one, although we still miss it. And we'll always remember it. We loved its chevrons very much. It earned them. These Doomseekers, you know, with regrowth, I believe in the Doomseeker. Oh yeah, we could have done this. Oh, she is like over here. She was solving some problem, right? These Slayers are like, healing magic? No, not me. I wanna meet my doom. But you know, that's the thing about being a Slayer in this economy. And perfection, right? We managed to get the two people that we wanted to meet in battle to come to me, which means they used their movement and I didn't use mine. That's what they get for thinking that they can scrap, right? Totally wish we had the big Slayers. You know, we can trade those off to go into the wastes. Yeah, and then take the giant Slayers. Yeah, that's what we'll do. A close victory, sure. Organ Gun with 4,500 value, Cannon with 4,500 value, Thunder Barge with 3k. The front line held, and everybody else had a party. Godric and Felix barely got any work done, but of course that's just because the foe was running when they got there. Now we're in encampment stance, so we're not going to need the replenishment. We're going to be replenishing.
Slayer by name, Slayer by nature.
Slayer by name, Slayer by reputation. Because Decala's still up here, but that is, in like 3 turns, we got rid of Sail, Dechala, and Tamarkan and Valkia. Well, not Dechala. Tamarkan and Valkia. Plus 2 other secondary armies. So, it's going to take them a couple of days to get back. But we get construction guilds, and... Do I feel like doing a settlement battle? No, we're going to be playing for a while.
Everything was drawn at once. This is a death. Slayer.
Yeah, because here, this is how we get the Spirit of Grungi, is by doing the mission. But we just need flame cannon kills, and then... Oh goodness, that marker's pretty far away, isn't it? Alright, so a trade agreement. You know, it might be a while till we get to this one. But at least again, for flame cannons, I mean, would make it a lot more worth it to run a flame cannon. Flame cannons are fine. They have this problem where, like, the arc of their projectile sometimes, like, you get less damage out of them than you would expect based on their profile because of the physical behavior of the projectile in the battle space, which can be, you know, pretty annoying. Hargrim Iron Forge, doing great as always. Keeping it done. Because I think, yeah, now he has no settlements, but he'll either attack Uzkalak out of desperation, or he'll go to the port. We'll find out which on today's episode of Dragon Ball Z. That'll sort of determine what we do next, although we're going to need to move into this space before very long with at least an army, if not a great army. But probably we'll need to take, like, a great army. Can't take Malakai's, though. There's too much to worry about up here, right? Because while we've got a bunch of money, and we're generating plenty, not plenty.
Lord of Clan Morgrim. Hair dye. Squid looks good. If you say so.
Yeah, because Decala's here now, but she's in March, which means we can catch her.
Demon Slayer. Greatest inventor.
Means we can catch her right here. Yeah.
Vengeance.
And bash her head off, taking the Ogre Blade away. Very good. Getting him immune to contact effects and Devastating Flanker. Now, Devastating Flanker, not so important, but immune to contact effects, pretty nice on a bit of a little anvil like that. And Oakry Burn Bright burns ever brighter.
Trick this board.
And he gets Zufbar 42 pounders for his army abilita. And now we've got the Grungi around, right? So we're going to be able to get the remaining things we need for this army. Just the single turn recruitment, though, right? So, well, yeah. As much as I would like to take an organ gun, honestly, cannons do a ton of work, right? So we can do 2 cannons. And then do we need Slayer Pirates? We don't need them. Would we want them? I mean, maybe not. We need somewhat more of an air force, however, right? We need a couple more gyros to go around with the engineers in the air. That's oh, those are the brimstone. I always look at the picture wrong. We take them. That gets us to 19, and then I mean we could go like 3 cannon. 3 cannon's totally fine. We could go Goblin Hewer, although yeah. Feel like we need a quarreler exactly. Do we just get like a Longbeard to grumble with the army? Very cheap recruitment, of course, now. I guess we... Well, we want to be able to move this army in 1 turn. Right, right. Triple cannon feels fine and defensible. Cannons do just as good at dealing with Furies as anything else.
Death Seeker.
And we'll have, you know, we'll have double engineer in that army to back them. Okri does wonderfully, and of course, there's always the possibility of Blessings of the Lady here. Now, Malakai still in shape. Carrot Golg is not our, it's not Skaven right now, I'm pretty sure. Oh, he can't move because we're recruiting from him. That's alright. We'll allow it. And here we finish the construction guilds, and we're just going to... got access to a lot here. I think we just take the upkeep and start, you know,
And maybe
getting that out of the way, and then... Because we're generating a ton of Oathgold. It's great to spend Oathgold for tech at this point, because, you know, you still stack all of it. Alright, we'll see what happens over here. Hopefully Hama goes here and besieges Uzkalak, and then we'll just be able to get Hargrim Ironforge into a suitable position. Morgus Crimson, moving on up, and, you know, it shouldn't be too long. Imminent Rebellion here at the Vale, you know, that just is what it is. Oh yes, deeps, because we have unlocked the deeps. We need to build the things. Yeah, we'll just wait on that one, I guess. I'm like, why am I clicking through this stuff? Like, I don't know where the other deeps is. Here we go. Because we can melt the Oathgold, but we don't want that. We want to swap it into the Guildsmith. That's the way to do it. And you take all the money from the foundries, and then eventually you swap it over. So eventually you've got to break that building because you can't move it over there, and then you can move it over to upkeep faction-wide to eventually, once you have enough deeps, get entirely free armies and entirely free buildings everywhere, which is the dream of the Dawi people. To never have to pay for anything because everyone agrees that, you know, money's kind of passé. Alright, good, 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 great, great. You know, the old grumblers will grumble that we haven't been satisfying the grudge, but that's just because, you know, the grudge landed on us. But it's like, you can't even feel like things are going well. We have so many enemies, but on a macro level, the problems that we have are just numbers of foes. And now we no longer have to truly worry, how are we going to pay for our stuff? We'll be fine. We've got a huge war chest, we're revenue positive, and we have the ability to throw up more deeps in the event that we find appropriate and safe places in which to do it. Which we'll probably do one in the pits behind Uzkalak. So the Faithless shows up with another one of those pretty nasty late game Norscan armies. I'm like, where is the enemy? I think, you know, we could win this. No, we'll just move it along. An unusual location in the Dark Citadel. What do we get? Slanesh nonsense. Alright, and indeed that's what we get. The end of the Dolgan. Very good indeed. Alright, so what does Hargrim do? If we push him out in this direction, we can spin up another army here that can hold the line before too long. And then just like global recruit a couple of cannons. It'll only take 2 turns. They're single turn recruitment things. But we don't even have a building to get them from global. Oh, goodness. Wow. Smart. You know, we could build it in a minor settlement. And it would just take 3 turns. And that's a pretty reliable play. You know, why don't we just? Super cheap, of course, because Hargrim Ironforge has all sorts of those abilities. Alright, so we're going to... We're just going to send him up this way, reasoning that if we have, like, 4 turns before Zatan gets here... And actually, so... Mama Stank is really on his case. And if we get 2 armies up here, then we may just be able to make some progress, after all. Do we just bounce across? Yeah, let's do it now. Who dares wins, right? We know what just happened with Valkia's forces, so they can't be here. And that means that we can press out and do something right now. Sail's over here, though. We cannot let him just walk around. We'll just move here to ambush. So actually, this is pretty funny. These guys...
What brings the despicable dwarf scum before me?
These fools, you know, they don't have allies, no vassal lords, so these guys might actually, like, go around. That would be very funny.
I'm going. Yes? What? One rag? Let us move!
So we can do this. We've got the Master Engineer there, and then we'll get this built. We've got enough decrees to protect it, and Carrick-Doom will never fall. Will never fall. Although we might break the Slayer Temple here, reasoning that it's easier to get Slayers than Artillery. But we don't have to recruit Artillery here. We don't have to recruit Artillery anywhere. Alright, we have moved out into the wastes. We are moving out of the wastes. And we will need something here to hold the line. Ere too long. Because, yeah, this guy is going to come in and be a huge headache. Do we start recruiting a guy here? I mean, we do have old Mountain Fasts. And just go upside down for a bit. I mean, why not?
to doom, then. Ready to do the guild's bidding. Grease those axles. Ready to do the guild's bidding. An artillery train to speed us up.
And then, you know, eventually
Wants it done right.
eventually we'll build another building. No, we're gonna... Do we drop this growth building? It feels wrong to do it, but it's just 10, right? It's 20. Well, soon enough we'll be at tier 5, and then we'll be able to rearrange the stuff there. Yeah.
What? I do. Engineer.
And it's not like we're broke, and it's not like we don't have armies that are here that are holding the line somewhat. This guy, though, man. Level 11, they get a great Taurus already. We're going to grow up here to the Mastercrafted Armor Way. Oh yes, the hero not moved.
I answer to clan and hold.
Because, heyo, Tamarkon walks right into the ambush. Get wrecked.
Sign up and you will be left.
Obviously, we just fight Tamarkon like a turn ago. Yeah, 1 turn ago over the end turn we fought him. So, you know, he comes back every turn, pretty annoying. But you just gotta trim the grass. You just gotta punch Tammy in the face and say, no, Tamarkon, you don't. Come back next turn. See what you can do then, buddy. Now, at least we know on the other side of the plains of Zar and the Great Dark City is a pretty solid Thoric Ironbrow. And eventually we'll make contact with that border, maybe, if we go up this way. And that would be very nice indeed. I'm sure it would be a calming sensation for Thoric to have a friend around. But of course, there's like one of the Chaos God's realms up further there, so who knows? Who knows what the future holds in that regard, right? There's a rebellion of the Boyars there. The old Kislev faction. Probably because we have big public order bonuses in our army, which gives them malices to them, and also because Warriors of Chaos hardly strong on public order fronts. The Thane gets killed. In here, we have to fight this guy because he's in the way. Sorry, Ursini.
Let us find our depths. What's it tipple, lads?
Sky Titan String. This one gives... Ooh. Well, that's a good one, ain't it?
Slayer.
Yeah, it gives you a shield breaker and range. Of course, one of our guys has suppression. Shieldbreaker overrides that, but, you know, the two together. A thing can take a lot of contact effects. You're just only allowed to have one.
Hey up.
But we're going in all the way to start here. We're not trying to trim in the middle. We're gonna roll up and get rid of these fools. And potentially fight some greenskin savage orcs who apparently are doing all right there and have amassed many a grudge.
You seek the favor of Iron Peak.
These guys are over here raiding. Hardly a heartbreak for me, although obviously we're not happy about it.
Dishonored.
We're just gonna crack this so we can get iron breakers here.
What?
Look, is losing a growth building that bad? I mean... adds a couple turns. I would rather have units. This guy gets to the old inquiring mind already. He's a very thoughtful slayer.
Not bad.
Like, you know, why don't we just do it this way? Start getting a deep setup there. That feels good. And here we're going to grab that. Magma.
What do you want? God. Master of runecraft. Greatest inventor.
Oh, Archie's here. And Valkia.
Ready then. We're going to battle. It's not home. Oh, aye. Let's rest up here.
We're just gonna hang out. You know, and if Archie wants to come up and brawl, well, it'll be the first time he's seen what he's up against. But everybody else is going to be like, yeah, Archeon, you should go fight them. You should go fight the dwarves. You're a real tough guy, Archie. Everybody knows that about you. You should take care of this one.
Can I help you? What? Dishonored.
And those guys will get their gyros soon. Yeah, they just got like a crummy little thing there, but still, gotta take it. Can't not take it. Here, we're gonna sack it, then occupy it. We get a talisman of preservation. Sweet. Obviously, that goes to... Okri here. The big guy has the Seed of Rebirth, right? So we'll give him a bit of the ward. 43 ward save. That's right, he's got Trickster's Home. This is the old hammer spinner guy. This dude, you know, This was the original Dragon Slayer, Okri Gundrickson, that we swapped out to stiffen this army up ages ago, so great to see him living up to his promise.
Bane of demons.
So Dechala only has 5 settlements, and we see all 5 of them. We see 4 of them. Well, she is on her way out. We're finally making some headway here. All we gotta do is keep on pushing out the foe. Shouldn't be too hard. We are, after all, the Dawi. We know how to defend our home. Alright.
What? Yes, yes. Dishonored.
Gets his yellow line cap.
The scar, don't ask.
And we've got all of our stuff going on there. Good, good, good. You know, I hate to say it, but things are actually looking up. There's the dwarf region tie-in. Very good.
To doom, Slayer.
Alright, alright. Should have a big brawl over the intern, because I imagine Archie is going to want some, right? I imagine he is. I mean, not when he finds out what we're swinging, but before then. I mean, sure, Archie's scary, and he's got Strider, and he's fast, blah, blah, blah. And having several thousand more hit points than you would assume, but we got our crew. We'll be alright. They don't have too many flyers. And with the Grungi plus Thunderbarge in the air, well, we'll be able to get it done. We'll just hope that they come in to fight us, and that'll save us the movement. Hey, Neo, good morning. Obviously, after staying up too late playing this last night, I could do nothing but wake up and immediately be like, coffee? Warhammer. This campaign is obsessing me. But, you know, what a fun time it is. Sorry, your doorstep? Oh yes, sure is. Sure is. But so we recently beat Tamrakon and Valkia at the same time. Valkia's here again. We also just beat Tamrakon again. You know how they are. But so they've been pushed back a bit, and we've got 2 Slayer armies backdooring the wastes from the other way in. We finally secured the Plane of Skulls. We've got like Chaos Dwarf problems before too long, but I figured we could force it this way. We lose the port to the Skaven. But we're making like a zound of money, right? Because we finally got the deeps online.
The past is the past.
Can we get to sail?
For a glorious day.
Nope, that's too bad. Archie's either in ambush or he isn't. If he ambushes me, that'd be pretty annoying. So we're gonna wait an ambush right here, reasoning that he'll come in at us if he is, and if not, then somebody will move forward. It's alright, it's not too much of a burned turn. I'll push the Rune Lord here for ambush, because he'll be able to come out and press into the waist somewhat in the event of that. We're going to go in here and grab the forest.
Death seeker. My doom may lie below. Follow it.
Because that's the thing, is a lot of their stuff is over here, so they're not going to be able to deal with this. And when we swoop in this way, you know, we might be able to clamp in. And look, Tammy has 9 settlements. That's going to take some doing. But Dechala and Valkia only have a couple. 4 for Valkia. We see all of them, you know. They're all right here. So she has nowhere to go. We've got her. And that's finally going to be some progress. And just in time, too, because the Dawi have pushed Ungrim all the way up here.
Welcome to my throne. Yes.
No, we can't give him the forest yet because we need the replenishment there. Because we can just push his lands all the way up here. And then, you know, no matter what happens on this front, Ungrim will be able to help us out up there. And, hey, you know, if he has the lands here and then suddenly we, like, take this and they've got to go through us to get to him, that's a lot more of a comfy position for him. And we'll tell him that he's doing well. Now, Daniel is pushing in here against Mama Stonk, who is also just really, really getting beat up. So, you know, these triumphs, if they occur, cannot come too quickly.
Explosives expelled. Right.
And these don't refund the decrees, so you need to be careful. I've been told this. I'm going to try to take the advice. Alright, so what we want to do now is get... something. Yeah, this. The Master Rune of Groth One Eye.
Vengeful Rune Lord.
and we'll be able to put that on, you know, one of a like a slayer, right? And then they'll just be able to run around and cast a merry death upon them. Or maybe like on a thunder barge. That'd be pretty funny. Making great progress. Let's just get him along the way there. His engineers both get their gyros. Couldn't be happier. So hopefully either Sail or Archeon or both will move into our trap. We're gonna have to push Daniel back here. I'm loath to push Malakai's army away, but we could just underway over for a turn or two. But who's gonna deal with Sail? Who's gonna deal with Archie? You know, we only have Okri's army there. Tricky stuff. And while we could try to spin up another army, you know, I actually like having enough money. But, you know, it might be necessary to forego that. Because if we just put a crew together that can go in and stabilize that northern coast, well, all of a sudden, Stank can, you know, fight against Throt a little better. You know, we just don't want her faction to get totally eliminated. Although it would be nice for her to lose some of the mountain regions, right? We hardly want her there. Man, whoever 52 was, they're definitely doing all right for themselves. The Warhost of the Apocalypse is dramatically weaker than we are in Balance of Power, but I mean, so too is the Legion of the Gore Queen. A lot of our enemies are weaker than we are. I don't know why. They must be trying to fight us and losing repeatedly. Get wrecked. Where is my water? In a different room. Oh no. And I guess once we pacify the North, that is like the end of those problems. No, let's get that casualty replenishment, why don't we? Aha, this guy doesn't quite move into the ambush, but gets caught by it all the same. Wow, look how far he got to run away. That's annoying. Definitely not worth going in there after him.
On my way. It's as good as done. Lord of Clan Morgrim. Engineer.
Alright. And Archie was waiting there, and now... Oh my goodness, that is rough. 7 Kurstadt in there. Yikes. Well, it's going to be time for a bunch of battles here, right? A whole lot of battles. Prepare yourself for a long turn. Alright, so they've got only a trifling amount of ranged units. We're going to have to be fighting a lot. We're probably going to be lightning striking off some of the stuff in the... Because because 10 monstrous units takes a little bit of getting through, right? And the Chimera backing, though, you know, so that's a problem of its own. But we have a beautiful choke point here. But, you know, the thing is that we aren't some Trump crew anymore, right? We've got proper infantry support, but it definitely looks like they've got more on the ground than us, huh? Of course, they do have more on the ground. We'll have to make up for that in some other way.
Put your faith in dwarven ingenuity, resilience, and my inventions.
Because the thing about cannons is they've got a way of waking up the foe. We're going to get these chems, because they're actually more important to get damage on than sail is.
Master engineer, off we go.
Boom, there we go. We catch the chem out. It moves into a problematic place. And gets lit up. Boom, sail gets hit with a nice little pop there.
War of vengeance! Move to attack! Yes! Drag out! Take him down!
This is the summon one, so we can be a little bit more aggressive there. And obviously, you know, any damage we get in here is beautiful. Chaos Warriors, great weapons going down. All sorts of power here. The Bearmen running away, because, you know, when you get the fast stuff down, then the monsters, you know, harder for them to flank. They got to meet you in the front, etc., etc. The Grungi will be out soon. Because the important thing is not just winning the battle. You know, we need to win the battle relatively unscathed, because there are a lot of fights to come. Of course, we have an army. We have an army that is very good at doing that. We're going to move Gotrek and Felix for sale. Gotrek gets in. We're going to pop all of the stops out. We're going to cast some armor on him. That'll make Gotrek upset. It's all right. He'll live. That'll upset him too. Look, there's no way to make some guys happy. But we chunk Sail, of course. He's having a miserable time. When you have the dampened ability from Gotrek, he loses his magic attacks, and then, you know, all the physical resist that your faction is known for can just party hard. And, of course, with this choke here, they cannot stand against us. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, a nasty army from Sail. You know, we're seeing we're seeing the late game nonsense begin from some of them, because Sale's got like 20 settlements. He's not poor like all these other fools are. He's from far away, but obviously not going to be enough to help him survive. And a smashing, super clean victory over, I mean, a pretty scary army. What are they going to do against this reckless hate, right? Gold cannons, gold thunderbarge, getting 4k value. The Slayers, you know, they didn't fight much, but it's about sending a message. And of course, his whole army got crunched. They did not get away very well. We take the replen to get back into shape. Now, unfortunately, we do have to leave his army up there because we need to get over this way to fight this army, which is even nastier than Sale's, right? Because it has more stuff in the air. Be alright. Plenty of fights to be had. Of course, a thing that you may normally be able to auto-resolve is not a thing you can auto-resolve if you know you've got plenty more fights behind it. You know, you need to get done. Of course, this is no gimme army. We do, however, have very good architecture of the battle map, you know. A big pillar in the middle. That's just what we want to see. We can force them to go around it, after all. Because there's plenty of nastiness here, right? But if they're trying to come in over the sky, then we'll at least be able to respond when they get in. Not a lot of infantry here, but we're going to be able to pop the halberds and get some of the Bearmen on the shot too. Feels good. And what we want to do here is just interrupt the chem. That way. But the bodyguards are going to stand there and bodyguard. Gotrek and Felix now have a mammoth to fight. This Kim goes to fight the Master Engineer. Now it goes to land, but now right inside of Malakai's sights, so he'll shoot it off. I said he'll shoot it off, yes. It's even true. It does knock a guy off of the cannon, feels bad, but you know. This guy goes right in for Gotrek and Felix. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Yes, feel the cold hand of death indeed, Ulrika, you tell him. Time to pull the Grungi in. And of course, you can flank Ironbreakers, but they're still going to have a party, right? Like, they're not, like, super upset that this is happening. They're not, like, freaking out or anything. This Frost Dragon's on the ground. Can we get it while it's trying to take flight? Oh, we miss. Alas. But we need to get here. Of course, on the organ guns, they're at least dug in, but we need to get... here and here. These Doom Seekers are finding more of their doom than I wanted them to get, but they end up doing all right here. We're gonna pop this, pop this.
Witness the power of hate. Slayers! Drag the axe! Getting close!
But we push all of these fools off. You know, a much uglier fight than the one before, but this was an army that was a lot punchier, right? It's got all of these big silly beasts, but we're going to be able to eliminate all of them from playoff contention. Pretty handily there. This guy, of course, gets to be level 21, so we're not going to be able to eliminate him entirely, which is too bad. But, you know, the Doomseekers take a fair bit of damage. What are you going to do? It's, you know, it's a Dragon, 3 Kims, 4 Monsters Industry, 7 monsters. Craziness. Obviously, not the kind of thing that the Dawi bump and grind is meant for. Big armor-piercing things. You know, they're good against us, but not so good that we fail. Obviously, some giant Slayers would have been great there. We probably didn't even get the Slayers engaged that much because we're so worried about guarding the old. Oh, but we get the replin, and that'll give us a ton of the Doomseekers back. Excellent.
Always need more skilled hands. Malakai McKayson.
Yep, and now so the army is pretty good shape already, and now it's time to keep on rolling. Okay, here this guy will be the reinforcement, so we don't want a lightning strike. Ooh, boy, oh boy, oh boy. Harold, he's got an exalted hero of Khorne, who by the speed will be on a chariot, probably. Probably. Slaughter Guard, oh man, you know, a lot of punch here. A lot of punch indeed. All the regiments of renown that you expect to see from a high-level Chaos army. But, you know, that's what we're here for. We are here to be the light and the darkness. Malakai will not fail. He will not flag. He will shoot gloriously at the foe. Now, this is just where we want to be, right? That's just where we want to be.
For the ancestor gods! Master engineer! Closer! Aye, very nice.
But they don't have a mammoth guy in the front, right? So this is not the Norscan army problem. It's a different problem. But once the dig in happens, you know, we'll just go ahead and derange now. Should have saved it. Need to be slightly closer for really good deranged munitions. But we're just going to, because they were in like March, right? So they are, wow, look at him getting tuned up. Oh, wow, the Hellforged Bellower gets absolutely melted by that shot. Wow, wow, wow. Trucks on him for real. And that's a big old regiment of renown that ain't gonna do a dang thing for him. Shame. You hate to see it. And then we're going to have a shot down the pipe here. Going to hit some demonettes. Beautiful. And then we're just going to fly this way and try to... Because this is the summon one. We don't need to care about them over much, right? Oh, no, but it's getting tuned up pretty bad. We should have cared. The Bloodshriek Kim, you know. No joke at all. It actually just deletes those guys. We need to make sure that... We need to make sure that it gets shot by our artillery here. Okay, there we go. And of course, now they're trying to reposition to wait for reinforcements or something. This is craziness. That will never work. Ooh, the Dread Maw. Let's go shoot it. Oh, wait, no. We need to be careful. That's right. I remember. We need to be careful. Like, they've got Doom Knights as Ancient stuff. Oh, and it's a Cornates guy, so he's on the Corn... Beastie. Gonna drop the Grungian right here, and by the time they even can get around to the flank, of course, they're gonna be so chewed up they won't be able to believe it. This guy's coming in for Ulrika, coming out for blood, and you know what that means. Gotrek and Felix will be there. Hit the ward save. We're gonna give Gotrek about 1,000,000 armor. Spike from the sky, Debilious Thunderguff. And that is how to put on a clinic against a nasty, nasty ROR army that, after all, can only stand up against reckless hate like this to a degree. Beautiful stuff. And that will at least be a good long while until Archie can bring all of these regiments of renown against us again. We army lost that army, but of course the balance of power for the reinforcing army is on a separate table. Let me get my tools. But yeah, a beautiful victory, just like all the others. No, different than the others, but still beautiful. Beautiful as all the other victories were. Spirit of Grungi getting hit by the Spirit of Chaos Dragons, of course. That's all part of the plan. That's all part of the cannons acting naturally. Come on, shoot, guys. Come on now. There we go. I'm like, you know you want to. There we go. We light up the rune color. Chaos Frost Dragon trying to fight and getting repeatedly, like, stunned by the fire, you know. Very surprised dragon. An old Herald, you know, never got to make it. And that's, yeah, 11 regiments of renown that the Warriors of Chaos have access to. So that's like a full third of them, right? Great. Every time an expansion comes out, Warriors of Chaos get more. But we're able to replenish the Doomseekers all the way up. And this is the first time we've met Archie. Oh, he runs? What? Coward. Coward.
Master of runecraft, demon slayer, come with. The maggot lord has flown.
Tamarkon's here. Well, you know, we'll see if this army can deal with them. I imagine they can. You know, we're not as shooty as the other army is, though, right? Our cannons are not as strong. We don't have the organ gun, but we've got our own hopes and dreams. We do have a couple of these guys to shoot at them. You know, we'll be able to throw the giant slayers in eventually. And I mean, I know he does have his mortis online, but you know, we've got our own punch here. Triple cannon, thunder barge. You know, we should be able to deal with them. Especially if he comes at us and fights us in the underway, where it'll be so much easier to compress our fire. But he doesn't have land over here, so if he doesn't come at us, then, you know, how happy will he be?
Demon slayer. I think not. Death seeker. What do you want?
Alright. Beautiful Great, and in all other ways very good. Sail the Faithless, if he tries to attack this garrison, we'll actually have the Spirit of Grungi overhead, so I don't think he would get away with it. And from there, we can... We'll probably push out with Malakai's army to sweep up this way to help out. Because, after all, we know where everybody's at. And if they can't get into the one place we care about the most, then they can't get in anywhere, right?
Demon Slayer.
And we can make another Deeps here in the Pits of Uzkalak. How safe is it? I don't think they'll ever get in there again. They won't do it by surprise. But no, we want to... That's right. We want to get it to level 5 first.
For my oath.
And here we're going to, like, just take, like... Yeah, we're going to take, like, red line recruitment so that this guy can get some warriors and quarrelers for this army before too long. Man, what a turn, right? What a turn. Malakai trucking on the foe, getting all the chevrons in the army, you know. Sure, those Iron Breakers were just dudes for a while, but now look at them. Missile resist and physical resist. Big armor, big spell resist. Like, just try to pop them. Just try. I mean, don't. I want them alive, but, you know, just try. And I mean, these hammerers are themselves like a very strong unit, right? Frenzy, because they're the grudge version. But, you know, magic attacks, frostbite, 110 armor, decent stats. You know, they really do pack a wallop. And it's great to have them in the back. You know, they are slow moving, but fierce. And the Slayer's at 52 speed now. At least that's something. Well, we'll see what Tamarkon has for us here. We'll give this guy the old tankard. That'll help some.
Doom Chaser.
We're gonna take that from him because this is the one that needs more. Oh, he's not even using his Slayer Ward. Well, that would be handy. Save him some money on his car insurance.
Death Seeker.
This will finish up soon enough. We're gonna have a bunch of cool stuff there and there and there. We're still revenue positive.
Bane of Demons.
Perfection. They are attacking us just like we wanted. I guess we put that on the gyro bomber. It's going to be more mobile than that. But I'm just going to take a short break and then we will be back to do this battle. All right. See you guys then. All right. Oh, they didn't underway intercepts, even though we're in underway. We're going to fight here. The block screen. All right, yeah, well, we will fight them. You know, they've got Forsaken, which are fast, and then some big stuff. Of course, the Soul Grinder of Nurgle is a little annoying, but it's probably going to spend all of its time, you know, shooting at my Air Force, which is going to have to do the brunt of the work here. We're going to get the Master Engineers, you know, shoot at Tammy. They've got some Air Force of their own, you know. We've got a single Thunderbarge. It's going to be fun. Let's get to it. Let us just... Because we need to win with enough to be able to walk in and grab the replenishment next turn. It shouldn't be too tricky. It shouldn't be. We just need to make sure they don't get in the cookie jar. You know, 4 Iron Breakers. We got Giant Slayer support. They'll be good if Tammy gets all the way in. We can go all the way here. Yeah, we can just go all the way to the back, right? And force them to give battle on our terms here. Because here, now we've got a nice little setup. We do, of course, don't have access to Grungi, but there are other ways to achieve power. Because these Plague Drones of Nurgle, if we can get them... Because they're trying to flank super far around, so we're going to be able to get a lot of work in, if we can get any work in. Right now, they are so surrounded, and they move right into our traps, so they're going to get fired upon by all of our Air Force and take cannon fire from the oblique, which will get us just where we need to be in no time. We need to start getting the fire in on Tammy here. But this is gonna be rough, right? Because, oh goodness, well, we don't pay attention to these gyros for a while, and they take way more damage than we want them to. We need to get out there and there. Jeez, okay. Yeah, axes out, lads, indeed. Oh, I think we're losing, actually. I sure do. Well, let's see what happens here, right? Because when Tamarkon hits, he's going to, yeah, delete these Iron Breakers. Jeez. Oh my goodness. And we get the Gyro Bombers caught. You know, I deserve to lose. We might retry this battle. We might retry this battle. Let's just retry it now. Alright, so very clearly we'll get a game over if we do that. That won't work. What if we do like a back to the wall? Yeah, I think it's possible that this army just can't beat Tamarkon, though. And he's only level 18. You know, because the thing is he might be just too good. I'm bad at the game, and he's not. But they've, you know, because they have enough of an air force to hurt me, and most things don't. Because can they flank around here? I mean, maybe. Because, like, maybe we just put everything into Tamarkon at the very beginning. Right? And we're just going to... Okay, these guys are not moving at all. But we're gonna get a firebomb on these chosen here. It doesn't work. Yes, they're just gonna sit overhead and fire at us. I mean, that's alright. I guess you just have to let them. Alright, but we are firing at Tamarkon, who is unbreakable. And is probably about to come in and murder us, but... Because we just need to get away from him. You can't have any dudes around him when he dies, but we might maybe be able to do this. We just have to keep them off of the artillery. What are the odds, right? Alright, we got Tamarkon down. That means we can probably do it. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, so obviously having to try twice isn't ideal, but you do what you gotta do to survive, right? They're fighting Marauders of Nurgle and Champs. These Dragon Slayers don't love that, but they'll be alright. Obviously, we still have some problems here. Because if they kill our artillery, we don't really have a... Well, no, we can get 2-turn recruitment globally, I think. But, you know... We need enough of an army to be able to win next turn, because we're in underway. We're not replenishing here, but you know, at the least, Tamarkon did get killed, and he won't be here. Chosen of Nurgle, they're having a party. These Chaos Chariots finally get taken down. These Giant Slayers meeting their doom. You know, beautiful stuff. Just like they wanted. But there we go. You know, super messy, and obviously took another try than we wanted. You know, it just goes to show that you just have to focus Tammy at the very beginning, because if you can't spike him, then you're going to lose. Obviously, once he's in and among your guys, if he's at reasonable HP, there's just no way to do it, because you can't use heroes against him. But we managed to get it done. What an absolute shambles, but hey. That's the thing too, you know, this is an army where we don't have redline abilities, where we don't have the high-level engineers. You know, there's a lot of power that this army doesn't have quite yet because they haven't leveled up into it. So, you know, just getting it done. Getting it done. And he is, you know, the biggest headache. That's not true. Dechala is, but here we get a lot of replen. We're going to take that over the money. We do lose the Slayer unit. What are you going to do, right? And he gets Tamarkant. Boom, baby. I mean, I guess we have the Grudge Settlers. We have Regiments of Renown. Several ways to, you know, get him units while he's out there. But now he's allied with that clan of rats that we're fighting up there, which is going to give him, you know, the replenishment and the freedom of movement on that side. However, how far is it going to get him? And what we're doing here, too, with this pressure, is they're not going to be able to send every army to Karaz Ankor now. You know, they're going to have to be moving over to the right. So as long as we can hold on with these Slayer armies, we're going to be able to move up, finally, and get something done in the wastes. And just getting rid of Valkia, right? Getting rid of Dechala. They're not scary because of what they have access to. They're just scary because of who they are. But now we're over the balance of power on the Dolgan. Pretty good. Oh, here, we're actually totally going to win this, right? He comes in, but we've got access to the Spirit of Grungi from Malakai. So even though the Mammoth would 100% be able to deal with all of these guys, we're going to be able to get our air support in and spear him a time or two. And that'll be all that she wrote for the Dolgan, which it feels fantastic, right? Because we weren't able to deal with them a little bit ago, and now we will be. And of course, you just want to move your guys that are invisible into some trees. They'll go to, like, you know, search or whatever, but we're just going to launch these guys at the Horsemen, not because we're really worried about the Horsemen beating up the Grungi, but because the Grungi is the win condition, so let's just keep them, you know, in shape. If only the gyros didn't have a timer, right? Because Sail does regenerate is the thing. So we're going to need to be able to kill him, which we may not be able to do. But he won't be able to army loss us just right here. And the Grungi can follow him around and shoot at him. So we'll just follow the Etten and blow it up. That one didn't quite work, but you know, we're getting it done. Because Sail does have regen, but you know, we'll just healing cap him and kill him. They won't be able to army loss us because they're not going to be able to find all of the dudes in the bushes before we kill them. Riveting stuff. Like, this is very sporting, right? This is the Dawi dream, is you're like, oh, they came in on a mammoth? Well, it'd be a shame if we were to bring something in the air that could deal with them. We're just going to run away from them here. Or rather, maybe fight him in the trees some. Nope. He tries to use his abilitas. And of course, we barely do any damage to him all with these guys. We just need to run this way. Oh, no, no, not with you. Not with you. Because he's healing capped now. But if we just run away from him, right, we'll be able to get more damage from the Grungi. This is very sportsmanlike. This is how you get it done. Because he's healing capped now, which means the fire from the Grungi will get him down in no time. In no time! Of course, it does take 20 minutes for the Grungi to defeat him, but look, it's gonna happen. And importantly, that's going to get rid of this chump from the area. I mean, I assume it's gonna happen. Jeez. What if it doesn't happen? No, yeah, because he, he's at 5k HP now. The Grungi has used some of its ammo. Anyway, this is what it's all about here. Sail cannot decide what to do. He's very upset by this development, but not in a way where he can do anything. Look, when he showed up, I forgot that Sail even had regen. I'm like, oh, we're going to pop him. I'm like, no, it's actually going to take a much longer time than we anticipated. And of course, he's faster than we are. We're exhausted, but this doesn't... The awe-inspiring sight doesn't apply to the Grungi. It applies to everybody else. But, you know, we may not be able to get him, actually. He's unbreakable? No. No, he just doesn't think that the balance of power is against him. There we go. And we get him. But we are going to follow him off because we desperately want to get this, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get the kill. Pretty funny stuff. But, you know, it's about sending a message. Yep, not going to be able to catch him. Hey, we persevere, right? Hilarious. happens next? We'll drink to victory. After all, who knows what'll happen after. Because Archie's over in that direction now, because he ran away. But, you know, we got it done. We held the line. The Grungi pushed sail back. And honestly, maybe next time we'll be able to pop them. Maybe. A mammoth is a specific kind of problem, and a regenerating mammoth is a hysterically specific kind of problem. It's not really a we can solve this with a garrison type of thing. I was like, oh, it's plague. Alright, that's not so bad.
Demon Slayer, Death Seeker. To doom, then. By my vows. May doom find us here. If he wants it done right, we sharpen our own axes here.
Yeah, because we have flame cannon units, we've got the ROR, so we'll be alright in the wastes, you know, that's what the stuff's really for, right? Because this person bailed on him.
Let's be at chasm.
And this is, I think, like the Zinch army for the quest, right? Yeah. For this thing. Where eventually we'll be able to get better organ gun stuff there. But really the Champion of Khorne, 25% reload time reduction for organ guns makes them very strong indeed. Now what we do here is pop him.
Don't stop till you're dead. Hey up. Hey up. Let us find our deaths.
And grab that, and of course we're not replenishing a ton because of the region we're in, but it's some. And what we're gonna do is call a Grudge Settler Slayer to our cause. Obviously, that would be the most likely unit to want to run out here into the wastes and help out. Harrigram Ironforge doing wonderful, pushing up in this direction. Tamrakon's on the back foot. We can actually, like, do we push Okri out? I mean, he can get home in time. If we move him like so, we'll be able to at least burn down the Siren Sea or something, or maybe move out to Lonely Tower. It's, because Sail's still there, but, you know, he'll have to... I'll have to do his thing. Alright, so here... They're both in March, which is excellent. We're going to be able to chew them up. But first we want to fight Archie, who doesn't have that fearsome of an army. He runs away. Pathetic. He doesn't get very far. Even more pathetic. We haven't fought Archie yet. So that'll be fun. I wonder if he'll win. No. A single stack of decent units from Chaos, including a bunch of hounds, cannot really hope to do too well against us. Now, it's a decently wooded area here, but I'm sure we'll find somewhere to set up where we can get some advantage. Oh, yes. Need to make sure we're on the crest there. It's not a wonderful map, but once they get over the top, then you just fight there, right? They're moving pretty quick, huh? I bet we can do something about that. And this is what Gotrek and Felix have been waiting for. The Ever-Chosen himself. Oh, look at that! The word save comes in. Oh, Gotrek hits him with the steel chair and Felix right behind. Oh, it's damage on us, but look how much they get hit by it. Oh, the humanity. Ironbreakers in the hills fighting there. We're going to get on here and here. Oh, the horror summon onto my cannons. That is nasty work, Archie. Who runs away. And he comes in for another bout. Get him, Felix! Ah, well, it was not to be. Oh yeah, the Spirit of Grungi. That's right. I'm like, is Archie gone? Yeah. The gyro shot him down, and now these guys who were chasing him can get over here. Archie ran away already, so we don't need to chase him down. The Knights of the Brazen Throne run. They all run. Shameful display. Not that much value to go around. Gotrek, though, gets his kill on Archeon. Archie. We call him Archie-chan. Malakai will get the trait. And we'll get the bragging rights. And Archie's going to have to go home, right? Like, I don't think he's got any lands over here. It's going to be a while for him to get back. We're going to take the replen. because that'll render us right ready to go and do this next fight. Yeah, there we go. Attack for the army, spell resist and fizz resist for Malakai. Beautiful.
Malakai McKayson. Just what? Take those cannons to bear. Sign up and you will be left to the grave.
Executioner's axe, good, good. You know, that would go great on this Dragon Slayer.
Oathbound. Demon Slayer.
Get more bombs, more mobilita.
Kill spinning. By Grumney, this had better be good. Yes, laddie.
And yes, laddie. A lot of joy to go around.
Doom Chaser. Death Seeker.
'Cause this guy has... Yeah, there we go. Get the Slayer replen, and then the Lightning Strike.
Sorted.
And the Strider there is always where to go, in my opinion.
By Grugny, this had better be good. Dishonored. Follow it.
Alright, alright.
Demon Slayer.
Peregrine Ironforge doing awesome over here.
Fight like a slayer.
His army is fighting like a Slayer and dying like a Slayer, you know. His is an even, like, more shoestring army than the other one is in terms of being able to defend our stuff. But it's also a lot punchier with the very high-level Lord and the very high-level Dragon Slayer in there. You know, we've got the high-level Master Engineers as well. You know, it's a different sort of proposition than the other army, which was rather fresh.
Demon Slayer. Foolish thing. No. And maybe our roots for love. Vengeful Rune Lord.
Yeah, because Valkia won't have anything left now. This is the end for her. She's got 3 settlements in. We're going to be able to rip it down, and that's awesome. Like, if we can just... If Ungrim and Gruni here can push back the Chaos Dwarves for, like, 5 more turns, we are going to be in such a spot. Now, this Realm of Chaos thing here... The realm of the Blood God. I don't know how easily we can pacify that, but look here, we are like about to meet up with our pal Thoric Ironbrow on this front, who is doing magnificently. But we're not too far from Confederating Beligar, who, you know, Alright. So good, 143k. I guess we just recruit another army, right? Well, no, I mean, we are currently recruiting this another army. we need some slayers for it. Well. Probably be faster to build a building there than move them around. I mean, not faster, but maybe we'll do that. Anyway, Garagrim at 47. I think we just put him on auto from here, right? Yeah. Oh, wait, no. We would have missed Blade Shield and Woundmaker. That would have been funny. Right, now we put him on auto. All right. Excellent turn. Really just a brilliant turn, right? We dealt with so many armies. Tamarkan will be pushed back here somewhere. You know, they're about to be on the back foot. We've got 4 armies pushing up into the wastes. And all we have to do is hope that the Warhost of Zar interprets this as a better avenue of war than this. And we're going to be able to get there. We're going to be able to get inside of the cookie jar. We're going to be able to feast. We're going to have a party. All right, good stuff. Plenty of money in the bank. Oathgold generation is pretty good and will only get better. Because as soon as we get another... Look at him. Look at him trying to get peace. Oh, we shall have peace. When the last of your forces is gone from the land, we'll have peace.
Let us find our depths.
And we're hanging out here on the Hill of Bones where Dechala just came in, and honestly, taking that auto was probably... You know, who knows if we would have won it. No, it's not fair. We totally could have won. But finally, this war is on the up and up, right? Because these foes that we've been dealing with, Dechala and Valkia and Tamarkan, represent, I mean, 3 of the most fearsome lords in the whole game. Tammy and Dechala more so than Valkia. Valkia is like kind of old hat at this point. She's super scary, but dwarves in particular can just shoot her out of the sky, kinda. Whereas with Tammy and Dechala, they're either super high in hit points or dramatically quick. I mean, Dechala, she's a real lady, you know. She bobs and weaves, she dances, she dips and dives and dodges. But of course, with every turn, we make more money or lose it, depending on how big our forces get. But soon enough, we'll be trading this lands of the north to the other dwarfish factions, because, well, as cool as red climates are, they aren't, though. But I suppose if we had, like, very safe borders, but yeah, we're just gonna give it to the Loyalist clan. We don't have a lot of that, but we always do that, you know. Yeah, and then we'll give the rune to the Grudge Slayer guys. No, it's funnier here, right? Yeah. Because then it could, like, terror out things if it comes in, and it has discouraged for when it hits things. You know, I actually love it.
Slayer,
What? Oh! Someone said you don't get a move, and it pulled me out of stance. That's nasty. Well, fortunately, we're still okay. Well, Morgus is going to pop up this way.
By my vow. To do. Everything was drawn at once. This is it again. Follow it, you bane of demons. Don't stop till you're dead.
So we pop that one.
An affront to the Dark Prince. You dare order me? Demon Slayer.
And we'll put him here, and he can probably stop then, and we'll just move up here.
Die glorious. We can hold this. What? Doom Chaser. Dragon Slayer. Come on then. If he wants it done right.
Get all of that in there.
Slayer. Yes, laddie. Aye, lad, what can I do?
Just save those so that we can roll them into other things. Well, no, the mask, yeah, gives them terror, and that's good enough.
Armed and ready. To doom, then.
Yes, to doom
This
them.
leaves me doom. I'm for it.
Oh, this is the guy that finally got re-leveled, so we'll get...
Not bad. Slayer.
Not bad. Slayer.
They are
So he can just hold the line here against that guy, and then we'll be able to loop up. Because Dechala has 3 more lands, and we know where all of them are. So we are going to just move out and pop it. Now that will leave us with no one defending the home front. But, I mean, we're right there. We'll be able... Morgus or Okrin... Okri, well, it depends, because we want to pop Valkia. We'll see. It'll work out. We're not gonna lose Carrick-Doom. We're obviously not going to lose Carrick-Doom. That would never be suitable.
Death Seeker.
Alright, that guy's probably gonna come in and try to brawl. We're just gonna get a couple of quarrelers. Alright, so this guy, oh, well, you know, we'll just, it looks like that guy might have, I don't know what happened. I thought Ungrim had another army over here. Well, it looks like he's about to have a really bad time, and that means that we're about to be losing all of this, so we need another army. Post-haste, that's got to be this army, right? And it's got enough, right? It's got some cannons. It'll be tier 5 before too long. It's got walls, so we can hold it against a force. And that's what really matters, you know. I don't think we need this Master Engineer here anymore. We can move him down to... Well, to where? Yeah, we can just leave him here until he gets the trade at least. Another point of mentor for him.
means to kill.
Hargrim has like Axe Lord, which will respec him eventually if he lives to get out of the Chaos Wastes, you know, which I imagine he will after all. Immortal Slayer. Is there anything sadder than that?
Yes? Do. Bakras.
Distributing all of the levels available everywhere. Obstinacy, pretty good. This guy gets immortal, good.
Dragon Slayer.
This guy is a Dragon Slayer. You can say a lot about him, but not that he doesn't know his own name.
One right.
I'm going to save those points for when they get the gyros. Alright, alright. A wonderful turn. Moving on out.
Doom Chaser.
We'll give him the forest, yes.
Very well.
Because this is important, you know, like, we need him to have these lands as soon as he can grab them, you know, so that not only for his own sake, but because I don't want him, and that's going to help him get more money for me, because I lose money every time I take another settlement in my deeps, so it's always a balancing act there.
To Doom, then. What? Dishonored. Just don't get in my way.
Because they are, you know, we've got them on the back foot now. We just need to progress, and of course we have no movement here, which that really stinks. Pretty annoying stuff. But that's just what happens when you fight against Sail, right? Now, can we get Oathgold now? Or we'll try. Because the thing is, this is by far the best position we've been in. Like, we're doing great. Sure, there's all these bad things happening everywhere, but fundamentally, the problems that we're solving are catastrophe level every time they show up. Chaos Dwarves is super bad, but any Chaos Dwarf Lord, besides like Drazot, basically the same, and you know, you gotta deal with them. Dechala is a nightmare. Her whole faction can get stalked. Like, she's got all this crazy stuff, and she is way too good at burning down a unit. But with Ironbrow Ascendant on the other side, we're going to be able to link up and then have, like, Dwarf Holds of the North, which is so awesome. And then from there, you know, push out, and who knows but that Belegar himself might arrive ere too long and say, hey, I'm assembling a crew to go to Eight Peaks, and maybe Gotrek and Felix will go with them. And you know, maybe Malakai will go as well. Things go a lot easier with the Grungi around. Oh. Talia wants to buy the port. We reject the offer. We're not doing that. Of course, that's probably the end of the. Oh no. They just offered to buy it. You know, hey, we're that's nice of them to say, but we're not interested.
Doom chaser. Let us find our deaths. Battle to death seek. My throne seeks only death. Hey up, who's man enough to follow me?
You know, some armies get Ironbreakers, some armies get Dwarf Warriors. They're all still very good, and yeah, Ungrim does fall there. We are gonna, yeah, we're gonna have to. We'll be moving him down to the Dark Citadel, and yeah, you know, we're gonna have to hold. The only thing is that it's very difficult for them to get so far, you know, from their supply lines. So at least there's that. But, you know, Thrott's Descendant there. For all that we're doing great here, every place that we're not going is having a time.
For my earth. What do you want? Let's give them something to remember us by, eh? What? To battle!
Do not close the pleasure house.
What? All that rock above feels grand. There be demons at home. Bane of demons. Quickest way through is down. Death Seeker.
Pushed him off there. A little bit of bullion, and then. Yeah, because we'll just need him down at the Dark Citadel to do some work.
Dishonored.
Because this is a big garrison, right? That's a big garrison. This army is not so much of a much, though, but... Actually, to Ungrim's credit, he's building garrisons in all of these places.
Greetings. You no doubt have a request. I'll hear it now. Oathbound. Greetings. You no
Because
doubt have a
for all
request. I'll
that...
hear it now.
For all that it would be cool to have Ungrim in our faction, it's pretty nice to have him up here, too. Do we want to hold on to this because it's a big one? Maybe. Because if we're pacifying the north, it won't hurt to get another thing. I mean, even if it's like, hey, you make less money, you know, the deeps is the deeps. And if we pacify this northern place, this becomes much safer. You know, maybe we'll just think about it. Obviously, there'll be big public order problems until we deal. But yeah, there we go.
Doom Chaser. We sharpen our own axes here.
I mean, I guess we should just get the Longbeards. I mean, it's only money, right? Because they'll be trying to get in before too long, but... So Sale will be back eventually. A regular army can deal with him as long as they've got, you know, plenty of cannon. We need organ guns in them, but you know, that can come with time too, because we gotta figure out what we're breaking here. Like, do we want to lose our Ironbreaker recruitment to be able to get artillery? No, because we could put artillery in a tier 2 place and still get cannons out of it. Anyway, yeah, good deal. Turn. And we have not done enough grudge settling. You know, they'll grumble, but that's pretty annoying. You know, for seeing that massive flood of Chaos Dwarves, an army that I'm not good at fighting against, I still feel super good about how the campaign's going, because, man, oh man, after 100 turns of fighting the combined forces of the Warriors of Chaos and some of the scariest stuff they can throw at you, I guess Tamarkon is a Nurgle faction, not technically Warriors of Chaos, which is ridiculous, but you know, whatever. He's got plenty of mortal units. I bet his faction would be too fun to play on this map. No, it's the only room in my heart is for a faction that can replenish wherever they're at. If it's a map like this, you know, just gives you the freedom to be happy. And the Skaven, hilariously, are a huge problem for them, because now, like, there's this huge buffer zone of friends that they, you know, have to walk across every time. And the Skaven, of course, are not great allies. They're cowards and they're minors, so... Ooh, 2 control, nice.
To Doom, then. Doom Chaser. Ek-Uti. Bane of Demons.
Can we get there in time? If not, then it's just time to get Gimzad Grungadrak here. Time to brawl, buddy. Show us what you got. Now here, I actually think it's more important to deal with this, because now with that army there, we can't get the other army down there in time. All we have to do is hold the line here. We're going to be done in the Chaos Waste before too long. Right, it's not going to be, we're not going to be here forever. What happened to the army that was here? I don't know, it doesn't matter. How far from home are we comfortable going?
The past is the past. Got you. Yes, yes.
Oh, the monolith of Sail. I wonder who lives there. But Dechala has one settlement. It's right here, and as far as I know, she's not currently with an army, so that'll be amazing. And we're going to get rid of Valkia right now too. And that's that for the Legion of the Gore Queen. Alright, if we move... Okri's supposed to defend the realm, though, right? But going up here won't stop him from doing that. But what if... You know, no, we just need to go home.
It'll get done. If you say so, be it.
You know, he did what he had to do, but he needs to get back home. Malakai... Because sending this guy up at Tamarkand, like, that's not... It's not a great solution. I think we need to send Malakai up there, too. But Tammy is spread wide here. He's got all of this land up top, so...
What?
But just like that... You know... We're with so many people. A lot of them are from the adventures, I guess. We'll get to tier 5 there. Hopefully Akarak the Crow will walk in to us here at the port and we'll be able to pop him. And we'll get this army, and we do of course have the regiments of renown and such to be able to try to put it together here. We're gonna... And then, you know, if they come in and they try to siege and we have an army and we can lightning strike them or something, could be good. Because the thing about lightning strike, when you're in a garrison, sometimes it'll let your garrison come out too. And then, you know, then they're in for it.
I'm sorted.
And the gyros and this army get online. Alright, we never took that settlement one. That would really boost a lot of this stuff. Like, do they have any mountain settlements here? Probably not. Still, it's nice to be able to run home. And maybe even have a gate at Karaglog that works. No, because, yeah... If we send Malakai up, sure, we deal with Tamarkand, but what's all... No, we need to send Malakai over here, punch Daniel, get rid of Sail. Yeah.
Why would I kill?
Tons of problems, but we're finally making the headway that we have long craved. Logazor's all rest, because I mean, like, they might be coming for us like right now. Tons of grudges on those armies. Ah, Tamarkand's at the Lonely Tower. Well, that simplifies things greatly, because Malakai can go in that direction. No, just knowing where Tamarkand is means we can send everyone else into his land. And then he is stuck, you know? He doesn't realize that I don't care what he's doing. I just don't want him where I'm going. So we're going to rip him up. Maybe just try not to give battle, right? Because if he comes in to try to raid and reave our lands again, that's fine. We can just give these lands over to Ungrim. I think Tammy's too much of a coward to be in a war with them, actually, from ancient things holding around, which feels great. It's nice to see Grimgor in the balance of power, and he's less than you, and you're like, yeah, take that. Because the last thing you want to see is Grimgor doing well. Black Orcs in the Wa armies. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. But, man, things are going so good here because we're going to eliminate Dechala like next turn and get rid of Valkia. And that's, you know, when you trade two uber dangerous major factions for 0, that's a good trade.
Don't stop till you're dead.
And old Hargrim gets his ambush just as planned.
For my oath.
Well, you know, we didn't get the ambush, but we still were able to force battle as we desired. Snorri loses the Gotrek trait because they've been apart for too long.
Lad, what can I do? It's on wheels, lad. Dishonored. Demons can wait for me axe.
Combo a great weapon, Longbeards.
If it speeds me doom, I'm for it. Slayer.
Inheritor. Oh, so this guy might be like the dude who had a great ancestor. I think Grimnir blood is best, though.
Death Seeker.
Vengeful Rune Lord.
I am only for the perfect prince.
Casting the runes. Yes. I'm off. I'll cast the runes.
Up and over. What of you?
Greetings. You no doubt have a request, I'll hear it now. All right. That's our kin have come. Fetch the brewmaster. We drink. Agreed.
Yeah, but we trade him all of this land in the north.
Agreed.
Because, yeah, Tamarkand hates him, but he's too afraid to fight him. So now, if Tamarkand wants to take any land in this direction, he has to get pushed over to us. I don't want to give the Vale away, because that would be a very good location for a Deeps, though. Once we get this sorted out. So now this front is no longer a front, it is a thing we're pushing. That's a front, isn't it?
To doom, then.
But Tammy is too far away from home. We're going to pop in here. So he's not going to be able to sort out these problems. This guy is going to be forced to attack. We'll give the City of Splinters
You no doubt
here.
have a request, I'll hear it. Sure enough.
And, you know, for all that the Chaos Dwarves might be coming this way, all we've got to do is make sure that this guy wins his fights. Now, there are going to be real dwarves coming in, but we've got, you know, we've got a level 4 garrison, level 4 mountains, you know, with some gyros to support. That might be pretty solid. And, like, do we seal the deeps? I mean... it would allow us to hold out indefinitely. Yeah, we'll seal the hold here.
The ancestors agree. Follow at your peril. Ready.
Before, to make sure help can get there. We don't want to lose the deeps. That would be an absolute disaster. But Tamarkon now is rocking a hard place in big time. He's got that huge movement, but he's got nowhere to go except inside here after me. And that's going to be a disaster for him. Hate that for him, honestly. Big shame. Give me the notification that Dechala is gone. No, next turn. We are poisoning everything with this Nurgle Plague, but that is okay. Yep, this is probably their last army. Yep. This is their very last army, so we're going to have dealt with Dechala and Tamarkon, and then we're going to be able to swim up this way. Poke a bunch of holes into them. And then pop Tamarkon as well, probably. Especially if Tammy moves over this way and gets sort of stuck in the sauce over here. Malakai is done with the problems of the north, right? Now, the worst thing that's going to happen is Archeon plus Sail plus Tamarkon, and they probably won't get here all at the same time. Probably. And when they do, we'll have walls with proper walls, you know, eventually, to say no to the foe. Great weapon bonuses. Yes, yes, yes.
Leave it to me.
Now Dimzad, he needs something to hang his hat on here, right? He needs, you know, honestly, he needs to just be able to have a drink whenever he's not in a battle, right? Well, that's the Iron Warden's tankard. The enchanted item will give him the liquid fortification. That's when he drinks when he's not in... No, he drinks that all the time with a tankard. And then the old guard's tankard. Well, the vigor loss reduction would be good too, so we'll do that.
Dishonored. Slayer.
Sword of Bloodshed, and then... We don't really want flaming attacks.
Not bad. Follow at your peril.
All right. You know, the Citadel will... It'll have to defend itself. But as long as both of them don't show up at once, it should be okay. And if they do both show up at once, well, then it'll at least be a fight.
To doom.
We're here at Horror Song, and these guys are going to come out at us. It's going to be great.
Bane of demons. What?
And there's not really that many Demons of Chaos. Like, I don't think we care about that ability as much as we would care about even, like, replenishment, right? But we'll take the HP.
More means to kill.
We will take the HP. That seems good. We will take all the anti-corruption. That seems good, too.
Follow it.
Master of runecraft. Slayer.
So we'll be a little upside down now, but, I mean, we have a ton of money. So even if we build another premier army that costs like 5k, you know, that's still like 30 turns of it, which is an arbitrarily large amount of turns. And if at any point we can get another deeps up in an advantageous spot, which the Pits of Uzkalak is the place we'll be targeting soon enough. We're going to be getting to tier 5 at Uzkalak. You know, all we got to do is keep the Warhost of Zar back a little bit for a little while longer. And then at least we'll have the benefit of being at the Dark Citadel, which is incredibly annoying for them to siege. Not a spot that it's easy for them to get multiple armies into, so we'll probably be able to hold the line there really nicely. Give them the business, hit them with a pick, throw a little bit of a satchel charge in their direction, and send them scurrying off to Zar Nagrund, the city of the Dawi Zar. The great shame of the dwarfen race. But, well, perhaps a chosen slayer will come along. One of so much promise and ingenuity that even the ancient enemies of dwarfdom will have no choice but to fall. I bet he'd have a mohawk. Probably some sweet goggles, and definitely a massive airship. But Thoric, like, we are about to be having a good time with him as a neighbor, right? He's got a ton of land. Just a ton of it.
Doom chaser. They up. For my oath.
I'm like, do I just, I mean, might as well. If we're gonna be here. Because if they're not going to come in, you know,
Bane of demons.
and we'll just spend a whole lot on these recruitments. It's not like we won't have time. Well, you know, we could take 2-turn recruitment, though, and that would be better.
Throng seeks
Yeah, we could get actual slayers who would be here. Yeah, 2 turns is much more reasonable than 4 or 6.
to doom then. Slayer. I'm no leader, but someone has to be.
On your skills, Dawi.
More moving, less whinging.
But Hargrim Mountainfast is moving with his army to support. You know, they aren't the craziest, strongest armies in the world, but they are an army.
The past is the past. You reckon an airship could fit underground?
You reckon an airship could fit underground? I do.
By my vow. To do.
I am Iron Fist. Some call me a king. You are well, I agree.
And we continue pushing the lands forward there. And we're just going to be able to starve Tammy out. That's all that's going to happen there.
For do, chest.
And this will be the destruction of Dechala, I think.
What's a tipple, lads? Slayer. Chasm, ah! Tankers aloft. Now drink.
And we have destroyed the Tormentors, just as planned.
Don't rush destiny.
Welcome to my throne. Fine.
Because crucially, now Ungrim has all this land to worry about what he's going to do with. The War Host of Zar is going to be dealing with me now. And can I... Dude, just, you know, it would have... We could have secured, Oh, we can secure one right now. Boom, baby! And now we see his... Alright, so his lands are... Oh my goodness, look how good he is doing! There's nothing over here. It's just him. He's having a party. He has taken over these entire mountains, and he is going to be the best ally here. Look at what we've done with this map. All right, all right, all right. Good stuff. This incursion in the Chaos Waste went so well. Even Tamarkon won't be with us for too much longer, right? And then, well, we're going to have Ungrim up here, secure, with a very, very strong and, I mean, essentially unmessable dude. It's, that's a good ally to have. Ungrim in the north will eventually recover.
I am Iron Fist. Some call me a king. You are welcome here.
And of course, we're best pals. All right, wonderful. So good. What a time. And actually, because it's so open there now, we're going to pop over here to try to help out in this front, because now that we've got all of this visibility, and Tamarkon, again, is afraid of Ungrim, they're not at war, so he's going to have to try to walk around, and that's going to be very nice for us.
For the wisdom of Valkia.
And of course, it's all a bunch of Chaos Waste attrition, but hey, what are you going to do? Because Thoric is smashing on these orcs, and then, you know, well, the heart of the Dark City. Well, no. That'll come with time, obviously. But we will, we'll be dealing with the Dawi Zar before too long. It'll be actually a kind of jarring shift, right? Because we would have fought the various flavors of chaos the whole time. And then, you know, at long last, these other chumps getting up. But I think we're now at the point where we can get the Veil up and running. Because any deeps can support an army capable of protecting itself. And then in the long run, it becomes even stronger.
Hello! Good to see.
Katarine wants a military lance. Katarine is not a faithful friend. Can't trust her. I mean, she won't backstab you, but when your foes marshal against you, will she come to your banner? Will she answer the call? She won't. She won't. She don't care about you. Because caricature is like super totally 1,000,000% broke, but I mean, bereft of armies. But what if they just took over the Chaos Waste? That would be good. You know, they don't really match up that well up there, but that's okay too. They'll be alive. And we'll move Malakai over and pop Daniel, and then move him into this lower front where the next part of the story will be told. Because while Sale and the Dolgan are going to be constant thorns in the side, you know, once we deal with the Wastes, we can send all of those armies up there. They're already in the neighborhood, right? And pop them, but I think let's get our real army, you know, getting to the Dawi Zar, getting the punch in, getting that confidence when we slay them and see them weep before us.
Who's mad enough to follow me? We sharpen our own axes here.
Yeah, because this guy, that's quite an army, right? There's a bunch of really good stuff there. But how does it match up against cannons, you know, and stuff on the wall? Because if he moves in here, I think we just pop him on the auto. And if he doesn't move in here, Hargrim Mountain Fast pops in immediately. So we're already good there. We've done it. Here we come in over the top, or no, around the side is better. Because we might be able to provoke them into an attack here, and at the very least it'll threaten them.
What do you want? Get out of here.
What?
That you've come here at all.
Oh, no!
If not suicidal.
Well, who even lives in the place of corn, I wondered. Skulltaker.
Slayer.
Obviously. Do we leave the Dolgan camp here? Yeah, to give him a place to run back to, and then we'll just...
Something over there.
I am Iron Fist. Some call me a king. You are welcome here. Yes.
So up there, and obviously we're going to be needing to fight Skulltaker ere too long. Now with Khorne, the thing is they don't really have flying units. Not really. They have, you know, they're big demons and stuff. So theoretically, Skulltaker can be killed from the air. In practical senses, it can often be a very, very large headache.
Dishonored.
But it's about to be a party over here, so that'll be nice. Alright, well... Good stuff. That's actually going to do it for this run, I think. Because I need to get on with my day. I'm going to hang out with the dog and, you know, see what goes on. But that is amazing, right? That is so good because now this is friend and this is friend. And our enemy is just dwindling. And of course, the realm of Khorne here with Skulltaker, you know, that might be the next problem. But if we, you know, it's less of a problem than Valkia plus Tamrakhan plus Dechala. And Valkia and Dechala are gone. They are 1,000,000% gone. And Tamrakhan is not long for this world. We're gonna get into the cookie jar here. We're gonna pop all of his favorite stuff. And then this guy, we're gonna try to just take the wharf and then get back up here in time. I imagine we'll be able to. But once the walls are up too, you know, just a little bit of a boosted army could get it done. Ere any problems arise. 6k out of there now, 5k out of here. It's definitely all come together. All right, wonderful, perfect, and in all other ways very good. It's our man Malakai Makaisen. Now we still need to get you know one more thing for these undead armies, or we just like send an army down here. But the thing is, you know, is if we get Malakai on this quest, burning down this wall of stuff isn't a bad idea. But I have rarely had such a great time in a Total War Warhammer campaign. This actually reminds me a lot of how much I would love playing Three Kingdoms for like the overarching story of it all. Like, this is wonderful. There's still so much gameplay left to do. Our enemies are, you know, pretty fearsome. They're not pushovers. You fight a 14 monster Norscan army and tell me that it didn't increase your heart rate a little bit. But yeah, awesome. We're finally getting it going. We've got our armies out there, getting stuff done, getting stuff accomplished. Ungrim secure once more in the northern wastes, and we're gonna, before too long, be pushing very vigorously back on the foe there. We're gonna be all right. I think we're gonna be just fine in the mountains, and then we can take the primary settlements in the mountains, give Ungrim the minor ones, and, you know, continue to have a party there. that'll be the plan anyway. But for now, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I really hope you've enjoyed. I know I did. See you, Neo, if you're watching in the future. Hope the weather's nice. And, well, I'll see you guys later. Peace.